Howdy all, lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at the delicious solo from Square Hammer by Ghost. Let's take a look. Alright guys, before we get too excited, we just need to talk about the tuning, which is D standard, which goes D, G, C, F, A, D. So get yourself in tune, and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's have a look at the first section. We're going to start off with this phrase. Alright, so I've got that little lead in here, a hammer on from 7 to 9 on the 4th string, jumping to 7 of the 3rd, then I work into this phrase. So what I've got here is an octave. So I'm going from 9 of the 3rd to 7 of the 5th. And then I'm working through this sort of suspended arpeggio. What I'm doing there is playing 9 of the 4th string, then playing 7 of the 2nd, 9 of the 3rd, 9 of the 4th. This is what we should have thus far. At the end of that, we're kind of going through a shape based around what would be in standard tuning, that E minor triad. So after I've gone, I'm going to go, what I'm doing there is playing 8 of the 2nd string into 9 of the 4th, and then playing 7 of the 1st string into 9 of the 3rd. At the end of that, I slide off into oblivion. This is what we should have thus far. Okay, then we work into this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm going to go back to 9 of the 4th string again, back pick into 7 of the 3rd, and then from there, I go 2 pull-offs from 9 to 7 on the 3rd string. You'll also be hammering in between those, so we're trying to get all in one pick. At the end of that, I'm going to be playing 9 of the 4th, 7, 9 on the 3rd, and then an extra 9. That's going to sound like this. All together thus far. Okay, then I do a very similar idea. Instead of going to 9 twice at the end of the second phrase, I'm going to jump across to 11 of the 3rd string. I'm going to do an up bend for a semitone and then up and down from that semitone. So that most recent chunk, you can see how they're pretty much exactly the same. The first one just ends on, and the second one ends on. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start, and then we'll have a look at the second half of this section. Now we work into this phrase. I'm going to bend 11 of the 3rd string up and back. It's only a semitone. At the end of that, I'm playing from 12 of the 4th to 9 of the 5th. At the end of that, I want to play 10, 10, 12 also on the 5th string. That whole phrase again. After that, we're going to work into, I guess, an amalgamation of that first riff just up the octave. So the main riff of the song up an octave. Starting that from 9 of the 3rd. Then I want to play 11, 12 on the 3rd. At the end of that, playing 10 of the 4th and then 11, 12 again on the 3rd. A similar idea from 9 of the 4th to 11, 12 on the 3rd. At the end of that, what I'm doing here is I'm playing 12 of the 4th, 11, 12 on the 3rd, back up to 12 of the 4th. All together. And And that's the whole first section. Let's go right back to the start of the section, play it again at a gentleman's pace, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Alright guys, let's have a look at the second section. This has a lot of double stops or 2-string chords in it, but it is very, very cool and very sexy. We're going to start off with this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm basically basing this all around the middle 2 strings, the D and the G, or the 3rd and the 4th string. We're going with this. I'm doing a flat finger covering 7 of the 4th and the 3rd string, sliding that over to 9. And I hit it again when I get there. After that, I'm going to play open to 9 with both of those strings. At the end of that, another open note, or an open chord rather. Then I'm going to go from a perfect 4th interval to a major 3rd. So I'm going to have 12 and 12 together, then 12, 11, all together. At the end of that, this is kind of strange. Play open, and then to 7 and 7. Then I want to play 4 and 7. Then the power chord 5 and 7. And then back to 7 and 7 again. So it's going to kind of go 4th, inverted 3rd or major 6, then a 5th, and then a 4 again. All together. One more time, a little slower. Okay, then we're going to work our way all the way up to that 12-11 phrase again. Then it works into this phrase. So what I'm doing here, notice there's a bit of a gross open note there, but we'll get to that. There's a transitional reason for that. So I'm playing 12 of the 2nd string, and then I play 12 of the 3rd with that the 2nd time. So I'm doing a single note, 1, 2, 3. I play that as a chord. Then I'm working into this, which is sort of the minor 3rd idea. I'm playing, what have I got there? 10 of the 2nd string and 11 of the 3rd. At the end of that, playing open on the 2nd string. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far. Okay, then we're working at this phrase. Let's slow that down. I'm doing a hammer on from 10 to 12 on the 1st string. And then I've got 3 more hits. Now you can either use the same finger again and then swap, or you can go jump over the pointer and get into position for that next phrase. I'll leave it with you guys to figure that out, but it is a little bit strange kind of shuffling on the 1st string a lot with that ring finger. So I've got the hammer on. 1, 2, 3 from that 12th fret after the hammer on. 10, 12, 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to hit it again. I'm going to do the cheeky finger swap. What I'm doing here is I'm playing 12, semitone bend from 14, up and down, then back to 12, and then jumping to 15 to the 2nd string. At the end of that, another open note. So let's we'll get that last chunk in a minute, but let's have a look at what we've got thus far. I've got the same phrase 3 times here. Relatively simple, just sort of 16th notes. I'm playing 10, 12, 10 as a hammer-on pull-off on the 1st string and jumping to 12 of the 2nd string, and that is our 4-note grouping that we repeat 3 times. At the end of that, that's the end of the solo. I'm playing from 10 of the 1st to 12 of the 2nd. Back to that 10, I hold it for a little bit, and then I just slide it over to 12. That whole last chunk again a little slower. With those kind of phrases as well, I do find that I'm starting on the up pick and doing the outside. I just don't like the inside picking and getting caught in between the strings if I can avoid it. So that's all of the second half of the solo. Let's play it again a little bit slower, and then we'll do it again even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was the rock and solo from Square Hammer by Ghost. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please click the link in the description box if you want tabs at this lesson and anything else that I do. Also have 3 books out now that I want to share with you. Ultimate Shred Machine if you want to up your chops in shredding, sweeping, legato, and tapping. My second book, Rock Guitar Mode Mastery, if you want to up your understanding of modes and how to use them in an improvised or composed context. And of course, my most recent book, Shred Guitar Improvisation, is out now if you want to learn about sequences, targeting chords, all of that jazz. And I do have all 3 of those courses available on Udemy and chriszoupa.com if you want them in a video format because you're not much of a reader. And just to keep you guys in the loop, I do have a 4th book that is in the works and very close to being published. So I'll keep you in the loop with that. Very exciting times for Chris Zoupa. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. I'll catch you all very soon.